Okay guys, welcome once more to this other tutorial. This is lesson 2 of our After Effects course, and in today's lesson we are going to be learning precisely about the anchor point tool. Now, what is the anchor point tool? How do we use it? What is its importance? And in fact, many other things. We are going to discover that and more in this short video. So let's just get started. So I click on new project, of course, new composition, just my normal settings again. And let's call this one test class 2 as usual, right? Of course, the length there is 4 minutes, but of course, we can always right click, go back to composition settings, and then change stuff. For example, right now, I can change it again to 00 and then 30 seconds. So 00030. I hit enter. Now I have a composition of 30 seconds, as you can clearly see here. Now, what is the anchor point tool? Like I said, this is it just right here. Pan behind in bracket anchor point tool. The shortcut for that is Y. Now, how do we use it and why is it important? Let me just illustrate why it's important by creating a shape layer. Let's come to new and then shape layer, and I draw any shape, for example. So I press V and I move that shape around. Now let's say I want that shape here. Now I want this thing to spin around just like a tire, right? Now we learned from our last lesson, the previous video, we learned that I can rotate this thing to move by excuse me, we learned that we can animate this thing to rotate like this by animating the rotation property. So right away, I just click on this right, and I press R on my keyboard. That will show me the rotation property. So I go to the start of my playhead, I keyframe that, and then maybe somewhere around 2 seconds, I spin that more. Okay, you're already seeing something, right? And let's say at this point, I spin it more. Now let's play that back and see what it gives us. If I press play, yeah, it's rotating, but not the way we want. If you take note, we wanted it to rotate. How did we want it to rotate? Let me just bring it here. We wanted it to spin from this place, but now it's rather doing the reverse. It's doing its own funny things. And why is that the case? Take a look. Let me just go back to this other mode so that I can clearly see this. Now take a look. This is the anchor point, and that is why, look at what's happening. It's rotating about this point. For those of you who studied physics, maybe this makes more sense that something is rotating about a point. But then even if you didn't study physics, it's just normal. You can clearly see that it's rotating about this point. Now, let's play with the anchor point and see what will happen. So I hit Y on the keyboard. I've started using shortcuts, not so dear friends. Y. And now I move this point, let's say, yeah, I'm moving it here at this point. Of course, I can go use that my plugin, which I told you guys in our previous lesson. I just click on that. Now take a look. When I play this, space bar to play, you now see it's now rotating about this point. Now, what of the case where maybe we change it again? Let's change it to, let's say, I'm having fun here, guys. Let's change it, let's say, to this point. Now, if I play that, what happens? It goes just like that. But now, like we earlier said, we wanted this guy to rotate from its center or from the center. So what do? We shift this, put it at the center, or I use my old guy here, and now if I play space bar to play, what happens? It's now rotating about its axis. And there you have it, dear friends. That was a short video about anchor points. See you in the next lesson.